YouTube. Thank you so much for joining the Pathfinder Show, where we love to have you here. So I just want to give a special shout out to those of you who have subscribed to the YouTube channel. Also, those of you who have been following me on Instagram and Facebook as well. I appreciate you guys. I see the comments, I see the likes, I see it all, and I really just want to thank you guys so much. So today, I actually have a quick message for you all. It's not going to be really too long, but the Holy Spirit been dealing with me about something in my personal life, and I just want to be a vessel, be a willing vessel that God can use to spread the message to y'all. So lately in my life, what God has been calling for me to do is submission. He has been speaking to me about submission really for a while now, and I try to ignore it and brush it off, but he is really calling his children to learn about submission, submitting to him, and then also to learn about being obedient to him. So in my day-to-day life, I walk with the Lord. I have gave my life over to the Lord, but there is a requirement, and that requirement is our obedience, y'all, because God will tell us to do a certain thing. He will tell us to move here, to go there, to do this, to do that. And the question is, are you willing to do it? Are you really willing and ready to give your life to God, to submit to him, to obey him when he tells you to do something? So when I first started walking with God, but as I've been walking with God and I've been learning about him more, he called me to do something that I didn't want to do, y'all. And I was the type of person who wanted to do only what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. So for him to tell me to do something that I didn't want to do, it kind of created this friction. I'm just here to let you know, you don't want to have no friction with God, okay? He the creator, he's the almighty. You do not want to have no friction with him, because it's he's always right and you're always going to be wrong. So to try to be doing your own thing when God is telling you to do this, and it creates this clash or whatever, it's just dumb on our behalf as human beings to even try to do that, because it's at the end of the day, God is always going to be right. He knows what's best for us. He knows our beginning all the way to our end. So y'all, I'm just sharing personal experience in my life when I was clashing with God for real, and I'm honestly still learning how to submit to him, because I'm not gonna lie, there's certain areas of my life where it's okay, it's harder for me to submit in this area just because of past trauma, past hurt, and just things from my past, to where I'm not used to submitting in that area. So God is just really calling for us to, if you don't know how to submit to him, he's at least calling for us to learn about submission, to take forth the effort to learn, okay, how do I submit to God? How can I better be obedient to God? What are some things that I can do? Will praying help me be closer, submit more to God? Will fasting help me be closer and submit to God? What are the things that I can at least do to take that step to show God, okay, Lord, I'm trying. I may not know how to do it perfectly. I may not always make the right and correct decisions, but Lord, I'm here to show you that I'm at least trying. Luckily, you guys, we have the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is a teacher. So what the Holy Spirit will do, the Holy Spirit will teach us how to submit to God. The Holy Spirit will teach us how to lay ourselves down and to submit to God. Now, I had already told y'all that I'm still learning. I myself am still learning, but I do want to share with y'all what the Holy Spirit is capable of doing when we do allow the Spirit of God in. So yes, the topic of this video, you guys, was called submission. I appreciate you guys. I see the comments, I see the likes, I see it all, and I really, really, really just want to thank you guys so much. Because like I was saying, you guys, if it was really, really up to me, I was like, no, I want to do things my way. But once I surrendered my life to Christ, he really called for me to lay everything down, because it is a process. There are steps. You're not just going to automatically know how to submit to him and give your whole life up to him, but there are steps to it. So one step that you can do is you can at least agree to learning what submission is. And as you're on your journey of learning, as you go further on, then you will be able to submit to him. You started it? So that is the message that I have for you guys. I'm just offering you one tip to learn how you can begin your process with the Lord, and that is attempting to, not even attempting, because you can do it, okay? You can do it, we can do it, we can do all things through Christ. But we're going to learn what submission is. After we learn submission, you guys, we're going to put it into action. So then we're going to actually do it. Then we're going to actually submit to God. So first, step one, we're going to learn it. Step two, we're going to actually submit. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I will be back as the Lord leads me.